Morning, everybody. New day, new plays. We are back at it, watching Ethereum do some crazy things pre-market here, going up to 3,500. I am not hating that. I gotta be honest, loving that movement on Ethereum. So that's looking good. SNDL did drop news today that they have acquired more than 10% of Valens company. This is partially a play into the US as Valens owns a Florida distributary. As well, we did get the news last week that they've increased their agreement with Sunstream Bancorp to about 140 million. So in total, first, you win. In total, guys, what we're looking at on this is probably they've spent around 150 mil of the 700 that they have. So it'll be interesting to see what else they've got in the works. But this is a US play, even though it's a Canadian company that they're buying. That Canadian company fully owns a US distributary. So they are making US plays by buying Canadian equity, which is kind of muddying the waters, but we'll see. Hopefully, eventually they just come out with a U.S. acquisition instead of this kind of sideways back and forth. But yeah, Ethereum, guys, 3,500 pre-market. Just about touched it and then came back down, but I'm sure we'll see it go through today. What else are we watching? We are watching. Let's open up the dashboard here. What's new? Not too much. Not too much. New YouTube video is out, guys. So if you haven't seen it yet, it is out there for you. That's it there. Broke down BTX for you guys yesterday. This was a big runner. It is no longer a big runner. It is a big faller today, which is no surprise given that that's exactly what I found yesterday when I took a look at it, is that it should be back below $1 within 8 months. No problem. So that's there. Let's open this up. Copy this, put this in here. Perfect. You caught that dip on ETON? Nice, nice. Yeah, guys, ETON again. I am very bullish on ETON. Liking what that's looking like. Before we get the ball rolling here, let's throw the disclaimer in chat. This stream is for education purposes only, guys. I am not a financial advisor, nor do I wish to be your financial advisor. If you need one, go find a bank, go find a financial institution to cover you. If you're looking for specific people in either Canada or the US, I can make a suggestion to you, not a recommendation, just a suggestion of a couple of good people that I trust that have all their licensing, whatever, to be a financial advisor. But this is for education purposes only, guys. I'm here hanging out with you, showing you how I make my trades and what my thought process is. Hopefully you guys can figure out yours. You're not to take anything that you see in chat, here on the mic, or out of my mouth as financial advice. Hopefully that's clear. We can move on. Yeah, so today's going to be a fun day, guys. I'm going to watch BTX fall out the gate. So you guys can all come along for that party. It's down 20% right now, pre-market. Precipio, PRPO, congratulations to Snow, who was in this thing yesterday. Up 170% yesterday, and then it's up another 35% pre-market here. So this thing just ran up 200% in a day. It's nice to get a 5% gain pre-market. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at CLOV, it's down 1%. I'm looking at ETON, it's down 0.5%. It's not really bleeding out by any stretch of the imagination. The other thing that I am going to be trying to watch, guys, is as each day passes, the question in my mind of, do we see bigger and bigger declines do we see bigger and bigger declines happening on GameStop as time goes by, or is it going to jump the other way? Now, one of the things that's killing me is the bid-ask spread on CLOV warrants right now, guys. I don't know if you can see this here. Let's go. Why is that not working? Ugh. Macros. There we go. The bid-ask on this, 254, 325. It's kind of a big spread. Kind of a big spread. ETON though, it's kind of right where it's supposed to be. I'm glad I got out of CLOV at $10 yesterday. It fell all the way down to 920, so that's not so bad. Um, SHG 142 pre-market, so it's come back down, but it's still above my entry. I'm still green on it. I did enter HUT yesterday, guys, at 715, and then it had a massive fall to 653. So unfortunate entry on this, but it's not the full position that I want to get into it. When SHG goes, I will be looking to move the gains over into HUT. So that's going to happen. Otherwise, guys, there won't be a lot of movement in the portfolio until the end of May. ETON, SHG, those two SHG's uplisting, that'll be a move, and then the ETON earnings and two PDUFA approvals into the end of May. Now, CLOV does have earnings, guys, but again, I'm not rushing these warrants. I don't need to get out of them, so there probably won't be a ton of movement on that. I'm gonna go grab a coffee. I will be right back. Oh man, I slept really funny, and I've got the worst kink in my neck. I can't like. Oh man, gonna have to Bengay that sucker. I hear everybody's losing their minds because the SPY is down pre-market, and so the whole market is crashing. And we do this at least once a week, guys, where everybody runs for the hills, and this is the end of it. SPY's at 415. It's down $3. Let's all chill, shall we? Okay, cool. Cool. Everything gonna be all right. Okay. Um, yeah, guys, I'm just not. I'm not into the fear. When the market is over 400, like, okay. I am going to be watching for news from HUT. Heritage Cannabis enters partners with Como Health enters U.S. cannabis market. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what they need to be doing. This is what SNDL needs to be doing: is making moves into the U.S. like this, not Canadian companies that own American companies. MRO doing well. Oh, good. Zimmer Biomed did really well. Yeah, I saw you talking about it, Saki. Buying HUT OTC, if it converts, then equities owned will still be owned, converted, or do they go away? You mean if it uplists? If you buy the HUT OTCs and it uplists to the Nasdaq, you get a 1-for-1. The OTC shares become the ticker. 40% of revenue should be US based. That's fantastic, man. That is fantastic. Zimmer Biomet, guys, is the company that's supposed to be selling ACRX. Unfortunately, well, they're doing well. ACRX is not. So, is HUT 8 getting uplisted? They haven't said. Their last earnings call, they said that they would consider it, but that was the extent of it. I did look at AHT yesterday. You had asked me to take a look at it. I don't know if I did that on stream or not. This is an REIT though, which is why for me I'm staying away from it. They are forecasting a decent growth into 2022, but for me, I'm just going to stay away from it. I'm not saying there's not a play there, though. Hotels is definitely a play. Fuel cell, new funding. They're down pre-market, but they just got news of this could be a potential pre-market play here, guys. Another 8 million in funding. Eggs for sale. Thanks for follow. Let me know how you found stream, what it is you trade. Eggs, actually, you've been around. That's weird. Did you unfollow and then follow again? Or you've just been lurking and waiting? $8 billion for fuel cell though. $8 million for fuel cell is good money for fuel cell.
I had the
We'll see.
most.
Go on.
I had the most civil conversation yesterday on StockTwits, which very surprising, because when Rita was looking up she was researching Airbnb for the lockup and everything.
Yeah.
She found out that the actual date is actually May 17th, so market beat's actually wrong by like a couple months. And yeah, it's a big one. But what was it? So the dude's sorry, there was someone that was asking, like, does anybody know what the lockup date actually is or whatever, right? And then the answer, there was a first answer that said something like, no, nobody tell him, this has already been answered 1,000 times or whatever, right? And I just came in and said, you know what, fuck it, I'll play the nice guy for once. I came in and said, dude, all these people keep saying like, oh, these hedgies and are bad and stuff like that because they get some sort of superiority complex and that we're the stupid retailers and stuff like that. Why don't you, instead of being like trying to act like you have a superiority complex, actually help your fellow retail trader and answer these questions? Because in the same breath that you said that crap, you could have answered the question. And I was like, yeah, it's May 17th, dude. Thank being
Yeah.
left or whatever. And then someone else came in and says, no, you're wrong. It's actually 6/8 or whatever, right? I'm like, no, that's incorrect. Like they had an amendment, and this is a secondary part of the lockup. There's different. They had an amendment to lockup or whatever, and Rita was actually reading this. And this person took half an hour, but they came back later and they said that I am so sorry. I actually am mistaken. You are correct. It's 181 days, and that makes it May 17th. And I'm like, what?
Wow. An
Like
apology.
what?
And a retraction and an apology. Guy must want a career in politics.
No, it's
Shout
not a
out
guy.
to Dawson Boy 73. Thanks for the follow. Let me know how you found the stream, what it is you trade. FYI, guys, I will not be here Thursday or Friday. I will be on the morning call Thursday, but I will not be streaming. Friday, I will not be streaming. We are going to get our new puppy. Our new puppy.
Ooh, it wasn't a guy millennial. It was actually a woman.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense then. She's willing to admit that she was wrong. I was gonna say there's no way that that's a.
That just gives you way more respect for her than any other.
Yep.
Like look at Akijin for example today. Do you think that guy's gonna be like, huh, come back and like say I'm sorry, or whatever, right? No. If I go back at him and say like, so how's that Akijin doing right now? He's like, yeah, I sold out yesterday at the high or whatever. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, I
prove it.
sold out. I sold out for $1 million yesterday, man, at the absolute peak, just like I always do. Okay.
Which it also brings me a question because this dude spent all of Sunday into Monday into market close every couple hours, like just hitting at me. I'm curious, is there a way to take advantage of people who are, what was it, psychologically, say they feel like they have a superiority complex? Is there a way to kind of, and tell me if this, I know this is evil, but if I was to go on my other puppet account and go like, you know what you should do, and just go on my other puppet account at the dude and say like, yeah, I've been following this guy as well. I said, you know what you should do that I'm doing? You should share his video around because, just because you think he's an idiot, I think that you should spread. I think you should let everybody else know that he's an idiot, or just like try to convey that type of scenario. But I don't know. Is that even possible to do, or because people this unhinged, I feel like you can kind of use to your advantage.
I ignore them.
Damn it. There's I wanted to be I was wondering if there was a way to create a scenario because like there are people that will essentially take your channel, take your content if they hate you that much and like go try to spread it around, and I'm just I wish I could have make a scenario like that.
So that is the puppy there, ladies and gents. There it is. It's a hound doggy. It is a hound dog. Super cute.
Now I'm trying to replicate something that I saw that happened to Exfil Camper, where they got super pissy at him because of his playstyle and everything, to the point where someone put a bounty on his character and his friends on Reddit, and that actually caused a bunch of people to go check him out.
I have a husky share. I already have a husky. I've got a husky Roddy mix, or a husky Roddy Shepherd mix. He's a blend, but I already have a husky. But the hound dog is going to be his buddy. Again, guys, I do not recommend either of these dogs breeds if you are living in the city. Please don't do that. Both of these breeds, both huskies and these hound dogs, are high energy and they are hunting dogs. So I did see the link that you threw in chat. This one here, Argo record blockchain, headquartered in London. But yeah, I see people with huskies in the city. Please don't ever do that to yourself or to that dog. It's just not
Oh
fair.
God, no, dude! I've seen so many fucking people with huskies in downtown Toronto at like 30+ degree weather outside. Like, that's murder for the dog.
4 Yorkies and 2 French bulldogs. Yeah, I mean, bulldogs are not as high energy as a husky. Yorkies can be, but this is it right here. This is the article.
Oh,
No, I am a
well,
dog breed professional. I actually went through a whole bunch of training and at one point was a foster home for dogs with severe food aggression or that had been abused. All of our dogs, except for this is the first one that we are not rescuing, but all of the dogs and pets that we own are rescues. Our two cats were found in a forest and we nursed from a couple of days old. My husky we found tied to a car and left to just kind of rot. So we rescued him, and then the other dog that my daughter owns now was surrendered to us because the owner couldn't take care of it, and it just lived in a cage all day. So yeah, actual dog advice, guys. Make sure that you check the breed before you buy. Know what you're getting into. Especially right now, I'm super concerned that a lot of people went out and bought dogs, but they're just going to be COVID dogs. And once they get back to work, it'll be too much of a commitment, and they'll have to send the dogs to the pound, and that's not fair to the animal. So, um,
I used to hate that. There was a grocery store that was like a couple blocks down from where I lived. That place was known for people just because there's no cameras and lights in the back. People would just like drive by, dump their dog, and just leave.
yeah, I can't take it.
There's a hill next to the side. I mean, like, not that hard to set up a camera, but
Yeah, I mean, I've worked with pitties, I've worked with shepherds, huskies, I've worked with collies, I've worked with cocker spaniels, I've worked with um, Bernese, I've worked with the dogs that I can't work with are the micro dogs, the purse dogs and the micro dogs. I can't. They're very aggressive and they resist training in a huge way. I understand that people like to have them and dress them up. Chihuahuas are vicious. They're just the nastiest little demon spawn in the world, and I can never own one. I can't really understand cruelty to animals at all. I'm not one of those guys who's like, I've got 8 kids and then I've got 2 fur babies. That's not me. I'm not one of those guys that makes them into humans. They are pets to me. If somebody shows me an $8,000 bill for my dog, rip. But that doesn't mean that while you own an animal that you're not responsible for training it, caring for it, and doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. So yeah, you screw with a dog's head, by the way, when you dress it up in little fun costumes and put it in strollers and swings and treat it like a human. It gets really confused and really aggressive. So yeah, Pomeranians scare the hell out of me, man. Ever since actually it's funny, we were talking about Blade 3 the other day, but Pomeranians, ever since I saw that vampire Pomeranian in Blade, I just can't. Every time I see them, I'm waiting for their face to open up. No, man. No. Mm-mm. No. Look, like vampire Pomeranian.
that's why the only smallest dog I would ever get
This.
is a corgi.
This thing. That's what comes to mind every time I see it. Every time I see a Pomeranian, that's what comes to mind is its mouth like Boca Raton is wild dogs and strollers, kids on leashes. Yeah, ding ding ding, the bell is there. We're looking at vampire Pomeranians instead. What's a good breed that's not a yappy small dog and can mostly indoor life? Bulldogs are great for that. Bulldogs are not super high energy dogs. They're a decent guard dog. They're great with kids. You don't need a ton of space. I think that it's pretty good.
I was gonna say it's definitely not a corgi because those things bark
No,
at everything.
yeah, no. A bulldog will bark, but like he's not yappy. He'll bark when there's something to bark about. All dogs have health issues. That's one of the things that I hear a lot with a lot of different breeds is all dogs have health or this dog has this health issue and this dog has they all have health issues. There's no breed that doesn't come without health issues.
Dysplasia is a huge one.
You can't name a breed that doesn't come with a health issue. It's just knowing those ahead of time and taking care of it. Yeah, pure breeds. I like a mix personally. I'm not a huge fan of the pure breed mentality. I get that there are people out there that like that and they like the thoroughbred and they like to think that they're owning something that's of more value because it's a purebred. But yeah, there's breathing problems with bulldogs if you don't keep them fit, and because their energy level is low, it doesn't require a lot. Like if you take them for a walk once a day, they're gonna be good. but you can't just let them sit, because that's what they'll do. They'll just sit all day if you let them. So you have to get them out. You have to take them for a walk. But honestly, if you're not willing to do that as a dog owner, you probably shouldn't have a dog in the first place. So yeah, yeah. Any shepherding dog is going to have a pile of energy, but the risk with them is always their legs, right?
I mean, you could tell that they have a lot of excess energy because they usually chew the shit out of everything.
So guys, here's BTX that we're watching. This is the runner from yesterday that ran on nothing. I did do a video yesterday. If you guys hadn't had the time to swing through, take a watch, leave a comment and a like, I would appreciate you taking the time to do that. But my prediction on BTX was this is a company that used to be Buzz Time Trivia. It is now a bio company with nothing in the pipeline. Why did it run? Low float, short interest. That's it. Short squeeze. That's it. Hey man, I love the videos, and as always, guys, if you guys have ideas for videos, I'm happy to make them. I am committing to do one video a day as long as I'm in the office, Monday through Friday. So this week I will not be doing it Thursday, Friday. Where do you get your options data? Mine's always delayed. I get it off of TD. If you go into, I've built out this desktop and I can get my options data directly off the desktop here.
It generally comes packaged with your regular data package.
Yeah, with TD it does.
I mean, with IB it does too, but I'm typically having to pay that tenner because the what was it? It includes the equity data plus the options data plus the futures data.
Thank you. Yeah, I take my coffee black, dude. I can go downstairs, and you can take this downstairs too. Nope. 2 hands on the glass cap.
It doesn't Olympians, because I got it. Like I
No,
paid for
yeah,
that,
no. Interactive Brokers doesn't automatically come with the data. Mine does not come with real time data. You have to pay for
really?
it. Yeah.
Shit, mine came with it.
That says Jenny Willis. So go give that to Jenny.
Remember how I said yesterday was basically like the time frame for my day to get into GME short to fit within that 2 to 6 week time frame of like when people lose interest in it for the news and everything. Yeah, it's sub 160 now.
So on the day, CLOV warrants down 270, ETON down 600. I'm still green on the position, but it looks like it might be presenting an opportunity. Remember with ETON, guys, it has massive moves because there's not a lot of volume on it. Like the volume is really low. We're talking sub 10,000 on it. So when there's sell-offs like this, it's going to come back down. But again, this is a buy the dip opportunity in my opinion. I am tempted to close out half of my CLOV warrants, though. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I don't do that.
I think close losing its momentum.
No, I think that ETON's presenting a really nice buy the dip for me to increase position on. PRPO is another top runner for the day. It's up to $7. Holy crap. Is snow in the chat?
I mean, the fundamental factors are still there, especially with the Medicare being lowered to 50 and stuff like that. I haven't really seen much change to really dictate I should get out.
I did exit my CLOV equity at 10 yesterday, guys, so that it's down to 890 right now. I'm okay with that. But CLOV, guys, 17th is their earnings. It's gonna have, at the very least, it will buy up into the 17th, in my opinion. But the video is there for you guys to check out. I did a breakdown on it and why I don't think we necessarily need to be sweating balls. CLOV 416 here.
Has anybody actually tracked like? Has anybody actually tracked like had you not sold and like held till where you said that you expected like in which quarter or whatever you expected it to kind of pan out? Because I mean, like the past history, like Mara and all these other things, like yeah, they did pan out very well, but you got out of them and got into another play almost immediately.
Yeah, I would have made more gains holding quite a few of those. Space, Mara, um, even ACRX I got out too early. But that's not a problem for me. I'd rather you can't go broke taking gains.
Yeah. Oh, are you fucking kidding me, Panel? Oh my god.
No, don't even look at it, man. You're just beating yourself
I
up.
because this is one of those plays where it's like you just hold it for the rest of the year kind of thing because remember my platinum and palladium play that I was looking at, but I had to exit because I wanted to take something to add to the seasonal watch not seasonal watch list, but the seasonal like track record to build. It's up 20%. I got out around, I think I got in around like 15 16 or something like that, got out 17. It's at 21 now. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like it had
Yeah.
it was similar to your SHG chart, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I could literally just fuck.
So abnormal volume guys, PRPO, BLRX, COCP, FAMI, SNDL. SNDL is down on the day on news of another acquisition. So they put out positive press and they went down on the day. But a lot of the market is looking red. Let's go to the heat sheet. Watch list. Where's it? Map trend. This one. Okay, cool. Whatever. That's looking pretty red. That's looking like a sea of red, if you ask me. There's a couple winners in here, but it's not pretty. Anything that's up is just kind of sideways. Nothing, no sector is really rocking it. Tech is down, cyclicals, healthcare. Did Bill Gates crash the market? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, he split with Melinda,
Yeah,
and there's no
I don't
prenup.
know why that affects the market, but okay.
It affect Amazon. I don't know why it would affect the market. Although Microsoft sub 200, I would like to grab some. I mean, if Melinda would like to sell a shit ton of her shares or something like that, but yeah.
Why would yeah, I don't understand that narrative of like I'm divorced, so I'm going to sell my Microsoft position. She's not stupid. I don't understand how those two go together.
It's for PR. No, it's for PR because like remember when Mackenzie split with Bezos, and it's like Mackenzie said, "Oh yeah, I sold everything and I gave it all to charity." I'm like, everybody is saying cool and everything, but I've never seen any of the news reports actually show the receipts. But you know, I didn't care enough to really follow up.
So this is looking like a red day, guys. And on a red day, you have a couple of options. Choose to exit your positions, which is a free and easy option for you to take. Exit your positions. The other one, for those of you that remember, this is the fire scenario that we talked about in the theaters, right? We have somebody that yelled fire in a movie theater. Decide which person you're going to be. Are you the person that sits in the chair and waits to see if there's actually a fire? Are you the person that runs for the exit with the mob? Or are you the person that waits to see the opportunity? It really is those three things. So make your decision. I'm typically the guy that sits and waits, looks for a better seat closer to the screen. That's kind of me. I wait for everybody to get up and I just stay in my chair until I see it. There are days, guys, if you're not a day trader or a scalper, you're going to have red days. It's part of the game. It's just part of the game. Up 5% on my portfolio, up 8% on my Canadian portfolio. I'm not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. But to review the positions that I'm in, guys, SHG, this has its uplisting probably May 17th is around when we're seeing the uplisting happen for this. They have filed 4 weeks out from their filing for uplisting would be May 17th. So that'll be interesting to watch. They are buying up nicely into that. HUT is a Canadian miner. I haven't done a video on HUT yet. I might do that, but Rich, yeah, Zom. Now, Zom on its earnings might surprise everybody. And one of the things with the news, and this is something I was discussing with somebody about Zom, and they were asking about it on LinkedIn. You used to be so bullish on Zom. Why aren't you bullish anymore? I'm not bearish against Zom. I got out because I saw opportunity to take plays elsewhere to make more capital. I'm reserving the right to get back into Zom when I so choose. Um, uh, the news that they dropped that um, that they were going to an internal sales team does not preclude that Miller Vet Supply is still selling. They could still be selling. Yeah, I think I might make a HUT video today. I've got to. For those of you that don't know, when I create my YouTube videos, I play the title game, and I mean Redemption knows this, but I play the title game, right? So, what we're doing here. Um, yeah, let's see what that does. So we played the title game, and the idea is to try to get this one up as trying to get that little meter up. ETON's down 31 cents. Run! Run! Oh, Snow, not like this. Rip, man. Gains is gains. Wins is wins. Don't sweat it. Okay, so that made it go down.
No way. When did this happen?
What?
Conan O'Brien is apparently moving his show from off of TBS. You know where he's moving it to?
HBO.
HBO Max. Like, oh,
Yeah, that just makes sense.
that I am. Hmm. Seems like HBO Max is actually trying to contend now.
This one's proving difficult. I thought crypto would be really good, but there's very little search on it.
Try adding SOS to that thing because people are still hyper polarized with that Chinese Bitcoin miner.
Uh, best Ethereum Bitcoin stock.
I may or may not have
Okay, that's better. not SOS.
I may
Right.
or may not have uh what's that thing called where like you purposely answer something wrong and wait for people who are like wait for people to try to correct you. Yeah. Well, I was looking for the actual like non like internet slang term, but so yeah,
Being a dick.
so I went on back onto SOS to check it out, right? Because it's still down from where when I talked about it. And I said that, so does anybody have an update on SOS? Like I last checked it in on this like 2+ weeks ago. I'm just curious on like where it stands right now. And I unintentionally hit the because I basically Pavlov myself, but I unintentionally hit the bearish thing when I asked, and everybody just came out of the woodwork. It's like, oh, saying you know nothing, blah blah. Um, Apparently SOS has their miners up now, and they're mining Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's like there's proof in the blockchain or some shit like
Oh,
that. But
et voila! I did it. There she be.
does the actually
96.
actually I'm curious. Do those lines actually do anything? Like you see how the third video there, right, in between May 2021 and massive potential, does that actually do anything?
Not for the algorithm. It's supposed to. He's doing it poorly because the lines don't even really show. If this line was here, that would be better.
Hmm.
It's a similar concept as to what I do with the brackets. um, what your eye does when you guys are, and I mean these are marketing things that people do, right? But when you see something in brackets, your mind has been taught that the something in brackets is a qualifier. So as far as like English syntax goes, when there's something in the brackets, it alters what preceded it, right? So what people do is they see the title and they do a quick scan. Their brain just scans it quickly for the words, but it just subconsciously gives attention to whatever's in the brackets. So Ethereum Bitcoin miner,
I
your
blame
your brain
math.
almost reads it backwards. It reads Ethereum Bitcoin miner first, and then goes back and reevaluates what was before it.
I
But
blame math for PEDMAS.
so yeah, I'll do a video
Parentheses.
on HUT. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's funny because you can know where you went to school based off of whether you call it Bedmas or Pedmas.
I call it bedmess, but everybody that I talk to always says, "Oh no, you're wrong. It's PEDMAS." I'm like, it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, yeah. In Ontario, up until 2005, it was bedmass. Brackets, exponents, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. And then they changed it to I've never heard PEMDAS. I've heard PEDMAS. But yeah,
No, people. I don't know if it was someone trying to fuck with people or something like that, but they would always like swap the multiplication and division, saying something like, "Oh, in calculus, it's the other way around. It's actually PEMDAS, not PEDMAS or something."
PEMDAS was in the US in the 90s. Okay.
No, there was
Yeah,
a huge
it's just bedmas
argument.
and PEMDAS. It changes the multiplication division, but it doesn't really matter. Snow, I mean, you crushed it on PRPO, man. You crushed it. It was a big win. Chalk it down as such. I'm gonna go to the 6 sheet, see what's going on here, because man, Hut 620. I may have bought a day too early. Oh well. SHG 150, Eton, everything's down. Everything is down. CLOV 870 for those of you that wanted that entry. You made a copy? Just one?
There's coffee.
Thank you. Love you. Okay, let's go GME. GME is 150. Air DX doesn't need to be on here anymore. Swap this. Yeah, FTOC is going to be a really good play. I'm happy with it. Again, guys, the volume on ETON is so freaking low. It is so low. When it moves like this, like, oh, it's down 4% on the day. Yeah, that takes nothing. It actually takes nothing for that to happen. The total volume is 24,000 on the day on ETON. I assure you, as we get closer, we will be fine. SPY is bleeding.
Yeah, it's 414.
414.
Came out of nowhere, actually, I think.
So, I mean, this is what it is, guys. Like, oh no, everything's down. Things are horrible. Run for the hills. Like, okay. You could do that. Or you could just chill. Yeah, but we've been talking. This is just it, guys. This is one of the. If you guys haven't been to the reading list lately and read up on the. Read any of the historical books that are on there, historical finance books that go through the history of finance in the US, inflation happens. It just happens. People act like this is the end of all things. It's not. We've been through cycles of hyperinflation before. It doesn't freaking matter in the long run. It just doesn't. Patience is a virtue. There's a reason why you see people that run around like chickens with their heads cut off about this crap, and they are living in the day, the hour, the minute, the week.
God, so many things are going to get upticked soon.
Yeah, like it's going to be upticks across the market, and you're going to see a decline, and that's fine. Know your positions. If you need to exit, exit. But know your positions. Know what you're in. Know your plays, and make a decision off of that.
Wait, did we go into 10% contango the other day? No, we're not. We're still sub 10.
So in order for the first halt to happen on the SPY, guys, it would have to fall 7%, right? We'd have to fall
Yeah,
$30.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're nowhere near that right now.
Yeah, like this is not. I know that people are like, this is a red day, but who was here back when we actually had a halt on the SPY every day for like 3 weeks?
Yeah, I remember when people were freaking out when it just dropped like 10% in a day, and I was like, you really think that's a lot? That's not even like the beginning of it. Actually, it is the beginning of it, sorry.
Let me just pull up. Like, this is what we've been through, guys. This right here. This was the SPY decline from 300 to sub 220 at the low. It's Stocktwoods. Derp. This is what we went through. This is what we've done since. Like, come on. This is where we are right now. This little red candle. This is where we came from.
Am I crazy, or I'm still just seeing your LinkedIn? Oh, there we go.
I mean, it is of interest, I think. that if we look at the crypto though right now, so the market is obviously red on the day and it's not loving life. So let's go take a look at what crypto's doing.
Mara got slammed, but yeah, I thought that
Bitcoin's
this was
still down. Ethereum's up 6%. Like, do I think that this is where money could be going? Yeah. Sure. How's gold doing?
good question.
Take a look at GLD. Gold's not doing great. Oh, that's not the right one.
It's basically slightly up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's basically break even, slightly up.
Yeah, it's a little bit up on the day. Market's a little bit down. Gold's a little bit up. Things are doing what they're supposed to do. But Millennial, my portfolio is bright red and I cannot afford to hold these positions. If you cannot afford to hold your positions through a red day, you need to set your stop losses, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. But Millennial, you don't exit on your stop losses. I do what I want. It's my portfolio. I'm also not sweating balls about a downward movement on any of these plays. I know what ETON has coming. I know what CLOV has coming. I mean, these CLOV warrants are good till 2025. I am not in a... This is not equity I'm playing on. Yeah, and that's it. Like, if somebody's coming and they're like, "Oh no, I'm losing. It's red. I don't know what to do." You probably, if you didn't have an exit strategy, you probably shouldn't be playing it. Yeah, but the gains on this are just like I'm still green on CLOV. It's down to 868. I'm still green on it.
I mean, if you bought into a solid company, Eagle, I mean, it's just growing pains sometimes.
Portfolio's green. Portfolio's green. I got nothing to sweat about.
And look at
When
Tesla.
everything's red and my portfolio is still green, I'm gonna be just fine. I got plenty of Coopers.
Tesla was shit on for years, but they became profitable. No, I'm not getting it. I don't like I don't like crypto at all. But Tesla was shit on for years. Yeah. But now it's like, look at him. Fuck, the stock market is rigged. Piece of shit. Okay. Hell no. Why would I want to get into Doge? There's no use for it. If I was, you'd have to basically you'd have to put me in a scenario where I had no other choice, and if I had to get into a cryptocurrency, it'd only be Ethereum because that's something that's actually useful.
So I'm testing the theory again. I'm seeing on days when things are down, if you pop in and you tell people all is well,
it's going to be all right.
This video. Yeah. Check out this video with DD to see if there's a spike. Yeah, BTX and CLOV, the two of them. No surprise that BTX is declining like a beast, and now people are Googling it. Right? Now people are going to YouTube going, "What's up with this?" They're claiming PRPO is a squeeze.
Oh my god. People need to get out that fucking notion that everything's a fucking short squeeze.
Guys, this company has nothing. So TPF, if I put a dartboard on the wall in front of you and blindfolded you and handed you one dart, and you chucked it at the board, what do you think the odds are you hit a bullseye? It's not impossible, but it's extremely unlikely. Now, taking the blindfold off, your odds are not exponentially increased, right? You could still miss the bullseye, but you got a better shot at it with the instructions like clear dart in that leg. That's fair. But you take the blindfold off, your odds are significantly improved at hitting that bullseye. Now, what if instead I let you throw 1,000 darts? Who do you think is going to have a better score at the end of 1,000 darts? The guy that's throwing blindfolded or the guy that's throwing with his eyes open? It's always going to be the guy with the eyes open. So when people have a win, just congratulate them. Just congratulate them. Good job. Do you know why that went up? Do you know what? No? Okay. I mean, congrats. Just be careful. Like, that's... You know what I mean? CLOV is really dying. Yeah, it's down 7% on the day. For sure. So if you guys are in a position and you're an FA trader, I can't help you if you're a TA trader, but if you're an FA trader, go over your analysis. Has your DD changed? Did something happen on CLOV today that warrants it decreasing like this? Yes or no? I did weigh in, guys. It is May the 4th, so May the 4th be with you. My favorite... so this is where you play the game, right? What order do you put the Star Wars films in? Okay, so... This is important. This is crucial, okay? So here are the Star Wars canon. This is lacking some films. Okay, here's the 12. You've got the 9 that exist. In the main story, and then you've got... They're counting the Clone Wars animated as a movie. Solo's in there. Rogue One is in there. Okay, so the way that I go, guys, is Empire, New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, Revenge of the Sith, everything else. The rest of it is trash. But those ones, those are solid. So Empire, New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, Revenge of the Sith. Now, if you watch episode 1, 2, and 3 thinking that Jar Jar Binks is actually a Sith Lord and he's manipulating everything behind the scenes, it makes them more enjoyable. But 1 and 2 cannot be saved. Attack of the Clones and Pod Racer cannot be saved. Those films are an abomination. And same thing with the last 3. The last 3, just somebody should not have been paid. That this puts The Force Awakens in 4th place hurts me deeply inside. This goes Empire, New Hope, so I agree there. It put The Last Jedi ahead of Return of the Jedi. It puts Force Awakens... Like, these 2 movies, 7 and 8, were trash. Absolute trash. HODL is trending, ladies and gentlemen. HODL is trending. Can confirm. HODL.
Jesus, just look at that. Look at that. Never sell $1 next, then 100, then 1,000. Okay, yeah, based on what?
If we can hit $1, we can hit 10.
Yeah, let's just say that I think that once you guys hit above $1, when people start running out of money or they see the next shiny object, they're going to lose interest, and this is going to start losing momentum.
It is a psychological thing, guys. When it breaks through a new level for the first time, it does typically go a little bit. So it'll do $1 and then it'll go up, but then people will profit take.
No, yeah, I'm saying that there's going to be kind of an expense barrier that this didn't have before that it will have when it goes above $1.
I am not hating my Ethereum holdings, by the way, guys. Not hating my Ethereum at all.
Did a hash check and profit rate or whatever, right, with the RTX 2070 that I have, and I looked at the profitability for mining Doge, and I'm like, I wouldn't make any money whatsoever.
I'm up 85% now.
So it's not profitable mine the Doge.
Up 85% on that. Rail overpass collapses in Mexico, kills 23. Thanks.
Hold on, what's the difference, Sinewy, between the mining and farming?
So the question on the day for me is, do we start to see things bounce back? It looks like there's a little bit of a bounce happening across pretty much all of these now, where it's tapered off, and it's tapered off, and it's tapered off, and it's tapered off. So do we start to see some kind of an afternoon uptick? Still up 1,400 on SHG, down 1,700 on the day. So this had one hell of a fall, but there's no news on SHG. So nothing has changed with them. They are still looking really, really solid.
Actually, I think that's gonna be the funny part, Millennial, is that if Doge does get above $1 and keeps going or whatever, instead of like people buying it and holding it for value and stuff like that, thinking they're gonna make more money than that, it's probably gonna be more profitable to mine than it is to just hold it, mining and dumping it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just buy it. Hold it.
The thing produces a block every minute and pays out, I think it was 10,000 per block reward, and with a block reward like that, I mean, damn. I think the math came out to be, when I did the video, was like a couple billion a year. I can't remember.
No, I'm not getting into Doji. No, I'm not doing that.
Jesus, $30 a month with 2 to 3 3080s. That sounds like a horrible return. Oh, okay. I see what you mean, Sinewy. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I think the best time to mine is like if you can get one of those and it's an expensive venture, obviously, right? But if you can get one of those like large ASIC miners or whatever, but most of them are like even ETH is going to become ASIC resistant. So like if it didn't, right, and you had one of those ASIC miners, you'd have to find one of these like cloud farms, or whatever, that they basically get cheap power, and you can get them to run it and manage it for you, and you don't have to deal with it at your house and stuff like that, because they buy energy in bulk, and you can just run your shit there. But upstart cost is like what I think one of those ASIC miners are 10 to 30,000. You got to pay the rental space for the cloud place, and yeah, it takes a while to get your money back. Yeah, I know. I think I'm thinking also because like the difficulty adjusts itself, right? For like the more hash power it has, the difficulty will retarget to ensure that a steady rate is being distributed constantly. So you're basically fighting that uphill battle. It's a constant kind of uphill battle between you and everybody else, because it's in your interest to get more hash power, because the likelihood of you solving and finding a block is a lot higher. But at a similarly distributed rate, uh, the only controlling factor would be if the coin price itself isn't continually going up, then that's where you're going to see issues.
So MindMed filed their NASDAQ uplisting in September, and they got approved in April.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I know about proof of stake, Frico. I'm just saying that if it was still ASIC, sorry, if it was still POW, proof of work.
So September they filed, April they were approved. September to December is 4. So that took them 7 months to get approval, which could mean that SHG's uplisting doesn't happen till June or July. What do I want to do?
They what?
So it does say that it's traditionally 4 to 6 weeks, which, CCXI is down 40%. Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of these. BTX is down 27 today. ETON's down 4. CLOV is down 5. SHG is down 6.5. Mara's down 8. CLOV warrants are down 10, almost 11. Look at this board. Everything's red. Everything. Oh boy.
Oh, I was gonna run this by you yesterday, but I forgot where. Okay, so Bitcoin, all these things, people like moving on and stuff like that. That's all cool and dandy or whatever, right? But what I'm thinking is, in terms of like sector plays or something I really need to add to my portfolio, is something energy related. Now, the issue
Yourself.
with it. No, I know, but the issue I see with it right now is that like I was thinking, what's the most cost effective way of generating energy that's like basically not oil, because everybody seems to have this like hate boner for oil.
Slave labor?
Yes, peasant power. What was it? So Rita said it was solar, and I don't disagree with her, but I think the front upstart cost is something that will drive people away. I don't disagree with her. I think solar is one of the cheapest options, but the upstart cost to it is expensive. And with that said, though, like I was thinking the more feasible one would actually be trying to push more towards nuclear power. But the issue still there lingering there is obviously the quote unquote stigma. But I think with the constant power hunger and needs, and especially with the rise of crypto, I'm just curious if like I'm just like wondering if that's actually a feasible play that I should continue with, because I think it was Chow Wu that showed me an ETF with all these like uranium corporations, or energy and uranium corporations, and they are dirt cheap, and they're very like well traded, like a couple million in volume every day, but they are like dirt cheap. And yeah,
So
I don't know, like it seems like.
there's a guy in Canada. I can't speak to the U.S. I'm not sure what it looks like there, but there's a guy in Canada, or there's a guy up here that used to go to church with me. He's an executive for private nuclear power, and the government in Canada has no interest in it. Absolutely none. They are not pursuing nuclear. They are very much interested in solar as the future. That's where their mindset is: hydroelectric and solar. So. Are we staying in CLOV, or did we exit for the loss? I have not. I mean, I exited CLOV equity yesterday for a gain. I'm still in my warrants, though. I'm not going anywhere on them.
Is it just because the solar thing is like very, it doesn't have the stigma, and it's like, you know, the hip thing right now?
Yeah. Now, I don't know about the U.S., but I can't see Biden getting on board with the uranium. Biden nuclear energy. Let's see what we get.
This is also kind of like a continue. Well, actually, I actually beat Burry to this one, but this was something that Burry commented on. If people wanted actual like efficient green energy that doesn't like have the downsides to what the solar panels and windmills have, because the biggest argument for the solar panels is, other than the cost, like the cobalt and stuff like that that are in there, they have a 20-year lifespan, which 20 years is actually quite a long time. But they were saying that typically, if these things aren't properly disposed of, the cobalt can actually damage the environment.
Nuclear energy is eligible for funding under the American Jobs Plan. What percent of U.S. energy is nuclear? Apparently, it's second only to natural gas.
Yeah. And natural gas is it could be a byproduct of petroleum too.
Solar's not even on this; like it's in other. So the question becomes: does solar? Well, solar's not going to eat away at nuclear. I don't think solar's going to eat away from coal and natural gas. These wedges are the ones that change. There's 2 new reactors in Georgia that are expected to come online in 2021, 2022.
Not saying I don't trust what Biden says and stuff. I just look more at the man's actions than anything.
Yeah.
We're not going to ban fracking and pipeline stuff like that. Literally does the opposite day one. Sorry, Lyuna. Back the wrong
Anybody
horse.
that believed he wasn't going after that is out to lunch.
It's one thing I learned about people in unions or like from union families and stuff like that is that once a better deal comes along, they're just gonna throw you to the side. There's no such thing as brotherhood.
For any city that is on a water body, that the technology that is energy producing for waves, I that's one that I'm kind of shocked that we're not hearing more about.
I mean the oceanic energy tidal wave
These
thing or
things,
whatever.
these things. You just build these next to New York and
Can't see it.
man, these things. You run these puppies.
Oh yeah, I've seen these things before.
You just run these New York, New Jersey, all up the East Coast. You power the entire East Coast off of these.
No, what was it? Elon was saying that this was like he's surprised that Australia wasn't exploring stuff like this more frequently because they have a lot of options down there too. Like they have winds, they have massive land for solar, and they also have they could also do this wave energy technology.
Like this just makes sense to me. England, Canada, US, anywhere that's near an ocean.
I mean, I've seen these small ones. I don't know what the efficiency rate is, but they take like the small rivers, and they're just like small sidelines where it's big enough so if fish swim into it, they can just like swim right out. But it's it's small and it's enough to like turn a small turbine.
I don't know. This just makes sense to me. Like here's a sketch up for a power plant. You just build this in the water. Has these attached to it. They can't be located near ports. Why can't they be located near ports if they're big like this? A ship can clearly see this, and you just change the channels that you can navigate.
Yeah, we've come a long way since what was that movie that caused all the stigma that was like 3 Mile Island or something like that for nuclear energy about a
Yeah.
reactor melting down.
The problem is there's still so much stigma around it. Average Joe
Yeah.
Blow is not banging on your door saying, give us nuclear. They are banging
Especially
on your door saying, give us solar.
especially the residents of Ontario when the the power plant here, remember they gave they did a test alert or some shit like that, or it was a test alert or it was
Oh,
like a
yeah.
misfired alert.
A system warning, yeah.
People were ordering iodine pills on Amazon.
If you're not signed up for this redemption, you should. Rocket Stock,
What?
they send out free assets.
Assets for
Like, yeah. For your stuff, for your videos and stuff.
oh, okay, yeah, I was actually
280 free sound effects. 100 plus free assets for your next video project.
that actually makes my life a lot easier because I was thinking, I was like, should I pick up After Effects again to start building custom graphics and stuff like that? But that would have been a huge time sink.
These are what I use, like 10 free motion graphic templates. Like, yes, please, I'll take those. But there's pages and pages of this stuff. You never have to design any of that stuff. 215 free assets.
After Effects templates. Ooh. Yeah, this makes my life a lot easier.
355 free assets.
Oh, it's by Shutterstock too. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna bookmark this.
Anyway, here's your wave energy guy. Yeah. I just think there's a ton of potential. Fukushima was a bit of an oddity, though. That required an earthquake or a tsunami or something, right, to make happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, this is looking like a pretty low and slow day. There's not a lot going on here. Oh, my Canadian margin just dipped below. I'm now negative on my Canadian margin account. Ruh-roh. Still green over on the US side, though. ETON has now come below my entry. You can't see. I know, Millennial. I know. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of love today, guys. I think that this is a day where I just bow out, go record a video, maybe record two. I've got HUT up as one video that I'm going to do, and then I'll set the other one to premiere Friday. Is there anything else that you guys want me to cover? Because I am going to do HUT. I'll do a breakdown of that as a mining company and what my thoughts are on that. Is there any other video that you guys are looking for that you would like my breakdown on?
Dogecoin. No,
PRPO. I mean, I could, but PRPO is going to be an after effect. It's not forward looking. What's happened has already happened, right? I'm not super familiar with it. I could definitely do a breakdown on it if that's what you guys want, but they do. Yeah, they hold Bitcoin and they're mining Ethereum as well. No, it's fine. Okay, cool. But they also have energy credits for producing green energy in Alberta, which is kind of big. All right, well maybe I'll think on it. I'll take the day as a self development day. Get out of here around 10:30. I know it's an early day, guys, but there's not a lot happening here today. I don't see a lot going on, so market's kind of down and beaten up. Into the end of the day, we'll see what happens, but I don't need to stare at this all day. I don't think so. Have an amazing day. We're gonna go raid the guy that does the memes the way that he does. Enjoy him. Why did that not raid? Did I do it wrong? I did. I'm a boomer. Can you do Candace? What's Candace? Nailed it.